Welcome everyone to another video, and today we are going to take a look at a Pokemon that was once a menace in the competitive Pokemon Go scene, and it's such a pain to deal with on the Go Battle League ladder, Swampert. So what happened to Swampert this previous season was that its fast move off choice Mud Shot got a rebalance of sort. So what I mean by that is that it got its energy generation decrease from 4.5 energy per turn to still quite big 4 energy per turn, while getting its damage increased, I think, from 1.5 damage per turn to a 2 damage per turn. So what happened was, that means that Swampert sort of tumbled down the rankings a bit on PvPoke based on the simulations, and we are going to see if it is still good to be used in the Ultra League. So as we go to the good part about this team that we're featuring with Swampert, which we are bringing along Galarian Weezing and Giratina, is that the Galarian Weezing in the lead is super good against things that might be a bit soft for the backline to counter. So things such as fairy types, like you see the Slurpuff, as well as dark types such as this Mandibuzz. And as you can see here, Galarian Weezing tanks it really well. And because Galarian Weezing here because Galarian Weezing is very spammy with the Fairy Wind, it can dish out all this damage with the Play Rough against this Mandibuzz. And a further note is that Galarian Weezing did get a buff, or get a double buff here this season, with Fairy Wind getting a damage buff as well as Brutal Swing, requiring 35 energy now as opposed to 40 energy, which means that if it needs to bait here in order to win a matchup, like as you can see here where we throw a Brutal Swing instead of a Play Rough, we can conserve a bit more energy later on for the next Pokemon that comes out, which means that this Pokemon in particular is very good currently in the Ultra League, and you should try and get one right now where it is available to be evolved from a regular Coughing. I recommend you get a normal Galarian Weezing as well as a Shadow Galarian Weezing from this event, because it is the win cons are very situational in this instance, and both can be relevant in their own way. So going into the bad part about this team is that, as you can see here, I think you can clearly see when the team was set up, is that it's very bad against a Golurk, because Golurk has played against 2 of the Pokemons in our team. And as you can see here, we are so far getting hard counted, but maybe not as much with the Tapu Fini, because Tapu Fini does not have that much fast move damage against us, with the water gun damage being resisted by Giratina. But it does have access to Nature's Madness, which is a EPMable move for it. It was released in raids a while back, so if you do have it, you might want to get one for Great League as well as Ultra League if possible. And as you can see here, Nature's Madness does debuff your defense by 1 stage, which could be oppressive in the long run, because as you can see here, Giratina got chunked to red health to about 20% of its health left, and this team has to manage with this Feraligatr now. And as you can see here, this team is very soft against Feraligatr. It needs a lot of work, a lot of shields in order to make this work, because Feraligatr has the opportunity to spam its Hydro Cannon, but at the same time has Shadow Claw and Ice Beam or Crunch to deal with the Giratina, as well as that debuff potential with Crunch on the other 2 Pokemons as well. So from here, as you can see that we just go for the brutal swing against the Fraligator because we just want to chip it down as much as possible if we could. And they tried to sneak in a snipe on our Galarian Weezing, but we were able to bank a brutal swing for later on if we need to. And we are going to save our shield first against this Golurk because we are going to need this shield later for the Fraligator, because Fraligator, if I recall correctly, has a move banked at the back, and we are going to throw this Hydro Cannon in the double up so that we save one Hydro Cannon for the Fraligator to soften it up for that final brutal swing. And that is how you beat Fraligator with this team. It's not through brute force, it's through sheer teamwork. That's the only way that you can beat Fraligator with this team, because this team is super frail, like I said, against Fraligator, and you would need to invest a lot in that matchup. You might risk the end game, but it is what it is with this team. And now going to the ugly part of the team is that it doesn't have that much fast move how do you say it? Fast move pressure. As you can see here, Fairy Wind does not do much damage, Mudshot does not do much damage, and Shadow Claw is the only thing that does a lot of damage. And if you look at the team that we are going against right now, which has Zygarde in it, the Pokemon that has the highest HP stat in the Master League as well as the Ultra League, because you don't use Wobbuffet in the Ultra League. That is just pure madness in my view. So as you can see here, we are not chunking it by much, and we are already a shield down. So we are going to farm up a bit more with the Galarian Weezing before swapping out to a Giratina to hard wall this Cobalion, because we do not want to take any of its charge move and take our shields along with it. So we are going to save the Swampert for later on. And from what we can see here with this team right now is that if it is Zygarde in the lead of a Cobalion save swap, usually what it indicates is that there will be another steel type at the back, because it's a very standard team that has been used in previous seasons with a Dragon Double Steel or a Steel Double Dragon, one of those, right? Because it has a very wide coverage, and it tends to be able to defeat all the meta relevant Pokemons that are used in the meta. So we are going to let our Giratina go down because we believe that we are able to take this Cobalion down with the farm down from Swampert, but unfortunately we missed it by just a sliver of health. But we do get a Hydro Cannon banked for this Zygarde, and let's see whether it does shield up, because we are going to need to preserve this Swampert as much as possible for the end game. And as you can see here, we do have Registeel in the back. Unfortunately, we do not want to take a Focus Blast yet on this Swampert, and we want to force them to use their energy to try and take down this Galarian Weezing, because because if they do have Flash Cannon, then that would be very problematic for us, because Flash Cannon would be super effective against Galarian Weezing. But if they do have Zap Cannon, the chance of debuff has been decreased for this season even further to, I think, 33% was it? I'm not sure. Just let me know down in the comment whether I got that percentage right. And it's either they throw the Zap Cannon and get a chance for a debuff, or they have to throw Flash Cannons, which in case big game over for us later on anyways. So after we throw the Galarian Weezing's final brutal swing against them, we are going to swap to the Swampert to try and get that final shield out, because this Registeel would not throw their charge move against us for some reason. Maybe they just want to, because they know, I guess, that Hydro Cannon does a lot more damage than Brutal Swing. But here we are going to be able to take their final shield from them, and they are going to quit the game. So as you can see here, that game got dragged out the longest among the 3 battles that we have shown here. But this team is still very good. Swampert is still usable in the Ultra League, maybe not as spammy as before, but it is still doing a job that you require it to. So if you like this video, please leave a like and a comment. Do subscribe if you would like to see more videos like this. That's all from me for today, and I hope to see you in the next one.